Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Brady, Vice Chairman of the Joint Economic Committee and Senior Member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Today, we have a simple choice to make. Do we vote in the House to allow our local job creators to keep more of their hard-earned money, or do we send it to Washington to be squandered? As you know, we're struggling through a very tough recovery, the slowest recovery since the Great Depression. We have literally tens of millions of Americans who can't find full-time work. We have millions of Americans who have simply given up hope of finding a job. They're not even looking for it anymore. We have especially women who are not returning to the workforce, almost 600,000 fewer women with a job today than when President Obama took office. In fact, here we've had just a tsunami of government spending and programs. We've had the bailouts, we've had the stimulus, the housing bailout, the auto bailout, the green energy bailout, cash for clunkers, cash for caulkers, and deficit spending. And yet today there are fewer Americans working in our country than when President Obama took office. And it's the small businesses that bear the brunt of this poor economic recovery. They're the first to be hurt, the last to recover. And frankly, if you walk Main Street, you walk your community any day, of these past number of years, they'll tell you how much they are hurting. In the House, we Republicans are taking action to help them survive this recovery. Our small business tax cut lowers the marginal tax rate by about 5%. It's a 20% cut for small businesses. It will help 22 million small businesses in America, most of them mom and pop operations struggling to make it through this economy. What we'll do with this tax cut is let them keep more, a little more of their hard-earned money so they can survive their economy, invest in their workers, maybe buy that new piece of equipment, get ready, we hope, to succeed. And this is a dramatic contrast. In the Senate, in the White House, we see efforts through the Buffett rule and others to punish those who succeed. That's what Democrats want to do, punish those who work hard, invest, and over their lifetime eventually achieve their dream. Republicans want to grow more people who invest and work hard and achieve success over their lifetime. And the way we do it is we start with small businesses, those who create jobs in our economy. At this point, I'd like to introduce Marsha Blackburn, one of the leaders on economic issues in Congress, Representative Blackburn.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning. It is a great day to be cutting taxes, and we are thrilled that House Republicans are going to go to the floor and we're going to pass a reduction in taxes, make a cut. And this is what the American people are wanting to see. Kevin referenced the moms and pops that are going to benefit from this, because when you make that 20% cut, what you're going to do is give them the ability to hang on to more of their money. As my small business owners tell me, they have too much month left at the end of their money. And giving them the opportunity to have more money left at the end of the month means that they're going to hire more workers. Now, most of those moms and pops are now owned by mom. And indeed, 30% of the small businesses are owned by women. When I talk with women all across this country, the number one thing that they say is the uncertainty in Washington, the uncertainty about regulation, the uncertainty about litigation, the uncertainty around taxation is what is costing them to not innovate, not hire, not create jobs. So this is one way we can lower the rate, we can leave more money in the pocket of those that earn it, and we can put our nation another step forward toward fiscal health.
Well, I'm Aaron Schock, member of the Ways and Means Committee and a congressman from the center part of Illinois' 18th District. And, you know, I agree with the president. A year ago, he said that now is not the time to raise taxes on any American in a down economy. And I would say not much has changed a year ago. And if a year ago it wasn't smart to raise taxes on any American, I would say the same should be true today. And yet that's exactly what the United States Senate is attempting to do, embracing the president's call for the Buffett tax, which would raise revenue, which would raise taxes, which would take money away from many of the same job creators that we're expecting to lead us to economic recovery. The facts are very clear. People can have different opinions, but they can't have their own facts. And the facts are that 7 out of the 10 jobs created in the last 2 years are small businesses. Over the last 17 years, up and downs in the economy, over the last 17 years, 65% of all the jobs created during those big booms were by small businesses, people that employ less than 500 people, exactly the people that this bill targets. So I don't believe that the vision for America could be any more stark. The contrast between our vision for economic recovery, our path to getting people back to work could be more different than that of the president and the Senate majority. And I think this is a clarion call for the American people to stand up and weigh into the president and the majority in the United States Senate to embrace the House's vision of giving more money back to the very people who are going to hire people, that are going to create the opportunity for more Americans to go back to work. The biggest obstacle to businesses growing is access to capital. And to Marsha Blackburn's point, if you don't have cash at the end of the month, you can't hire regardless of what demand is. And so this tax cut giving more money back to these employers will give them the cash they need to be able to invest in equipment and in people to put us back to work.
Good morning. I'm Congressman Pete Olson, and I represent Texas 22. And I'm proud to be here with my colleagues in support of the Small Business Tax Cut Act. I'd like to thank my fellow Texan, Kevin Brady, for putting this event together. Today, the House is going to pass this bill. And by doing so, we'll get our economy rolling again. As Kevin said, by giving 22 million job creators in this country a tax cut of 20%. I represent the Johnson Space Center, the home of United States human spaceflight. I know a little bit about rocket science. This is not rocket science. It's simple. It's common sense. Give the American entrepreneur their money back. They will reinvest it in their business. They'll hire people and get our economy turned around. And when the sun sets this afternoon, this bill is going to be on its way across the hill to Harry Reid's inbox. And it seems destined, unfortunately, to join the over 30 bills House Republicans have passed, creating good-paying jobs in our country that are still waiting his action to bring them through the United States Senate and have a vote on the Senate floor. But it doesn't matter. The American people are listening. They're watching. They know that one party is trying to strangle the American dream, and one party is trying to make the American dream thrive. We Republicans are the ones trying to make the American dream thrive. Thank you, Kevin.
Morning as well. I'm Eric Paulson. I represent the Twin Cities, the western suburbs of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I'm also serving on the Ways and Means Committee. I also represent a vast majority of small businesses. I recently conducted a small business tour that was composed of women-owned businesses. And so I've been listening to what small businesses are asking for. I've been listening to what being attentive to their needs, and they're asking for help to invest in their people, in their employees, and to invest in their company and their operations. So this is a small business tax cut that will be targeted towards giving these small employers of less than 500 people, where the vast economic engine of our economy comes from, the ability to hire more people, to invest in their people, and also to purchase more capital equipment. As Congressman Schock mentioned earlier, this is where the vast majority of our jobs come, is from the small business community. And out of every other economic recession we've had in the past, small business has led the way. And we're not seeing small business lead the way in the manner that they have in the past. And so this is a targeted tax cut to help small business get our economy going, create jobs, and ultimately bring in more revenues to grow the economy and reduce our deficit and our challenging problems with our national debt.
Good morning. I also would like to thank Kevin for putting this event together. My name is Bobby Schilling. I'm from the Illinois 17th District, and I sit on the Small Business Committee, House Armed Services Committee, and Ag. And, you know, for me, this is great news for small business. My wife, Christy, and I own and operate St. Giuseppe's Heavenly Pizza in Moline, Illinois. And I have to say, you know, over the past year, we've seen our business plummet. You know, we've lost 35% in our business. And, you know, the one thing that we fully understand as small business owners is that more regulation and more taxes do not help our business, and it definitely does not help us to hire new folks. But, you know, what we've seen here in the last 3 years is a president that just has been unwilling to give the proper tax reforms that are needed for the small businesses. But the one thing that we like to focus on are the things that we can do, not the things we can't. And rather than advancing partisan and unserious show votes, votes that don't lower gas prices, don't encourage economic growth, and don't impact our deficit, which the Buffett tax rule would not help out at all. We want to ensure that more opportunities for job seekers are out there, and also that the job creators are able to offer those. So rather than raising taxes and discouraging investment and punishing the many small businesses that file their taxes as individuals, we want to make it easier for Illinois folks, the more than 200,000 small businesses, to grow, create jobs for our unemployed friends and neighbors, and lead us to an economic recovery. We want to cut wasteful, job-destroying spending and debt, and help small businesses grow both jobs and paychecks by providing them with the tax relief. Americans deserve policies like the Small Business Tax Cut Act that basically will promote jobs and grow our economy. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here today.